What up, everybody out there in podcast land? Thank you for tuning in yet again to another episode of Kane Ross Present the Yeah I Said It podcast. We are expressing with our full capabilities until they want us in correctional facilities. Brainchild of my child. I am the dad half of this operation, Ross Cooper. As always, I am rocking with the best. My co-host, introduce yourself to the folk.
They've been sleeping on us. People said, "Funny, I can do this standing on my head. I can't stand y'all like two bad prosthetic legs." Uh, yeah. Well, what's good, everybody? Everybody's having a good week, good day. You know the drill if you're watching on YouTube. You know the drill if you're watching on anything else. So please support us, please. I appreciate it. And sit back, relax. Too bad we gotta talk about some bad things, but it'll get good towards the end. But yeah, let's get it.
All right. So first and foremost, understand, and the friend probably can't see the whole picture. Just want to make sure all reps matter as a weightlifting ethos. I would not be sitting here with an all lives matter shirt on under any circumstances. We don't do that shit around this way. All right. Um, it's been a week, man. It's been a week, and it's we always talk about it. It is amazing how the world spins, how much so much can change in 1 week. Rewinding time, because right now it is March 25th. Rewinding time about a month ago or so here in Texas. On Valentine's Day, February 14th, everything froze and was covered in snow. A week later, it was 60 degrees. Amazing how things can change in a week. Now, last week, everything was cool. One, too crazy. Last couple weeks have been kind of crazy. We have had two mass shootings that have made national news. That is, just one in Colorado, and then right before that in Atlanta, guys shot up some spas. Uh,
Matter.
I mean, it's like I remember a lot of folks have been wanting things to go back to quote unquote normal. And you and I have said the last thing we want is things to go back to normal because sadly this became normal. And it's sad about this. One, it's all tragic. It's all tragic. But the most recent one in Colorado, um, it got me to thinking because, of course, what happens is it's almost like a cycle. Mass shooting. We look to see if the shooter has been quote unquote radicalized. Once that can be ruled out, we can't blame ISIS or whoever. We look to see if there are mental health issues. Then the debate about gun control happens. People flood the streets, flood the internet. Congress do something. We need more gun control. And we give it 2 weeks, and it's like it never happened. Unless, sadly, you are one of the victims or victims' families. Then that pain never goes away. What I found troubling, and I've seen this tweet, I forgot its origin, but it seems to have some truth to it. Sandy Hook. Once we were okay with letting kids get killed, we knew it was a problem. We knew it was a problem then. And sadly, in the grand scheme of things, yes. Um, Now, the shooter in Colorado, 10 people killed in a grocery store. It does not appear to be a motive based on the things I've read from a few mainstream media sources. This gentleman was 21 years old. He was Muslim. His own family said he had a history of possible mental illness. I don't think it was ever diagnosed. And he'd been stating for a while that he felt he had been being watched, that he had been, there's tracking devices in his phone, things like that. Um, so the mental illness thing is it might very well have some credibility there. It's not just he's just being made up, but it might have some credibility. Um, the thing that gets me is remember the process. One of the first things we do in this country, especially after 9/11, is what? To look and see if this person is Muslim, Islamic, has ties to some terrorist group. The gentleman happens to be Muslim, but he is not. Again, based on what I've read, we don't know what's going to come out, what might be put out. Not saying, just saying what might be put out. It does not appear this gentleman has been quote unquote radicalized. It appears he was bullied. And if you do the math based on what I read, his family immigrated here from Syria in 2002. If anyone is keeping score at home, that's a year after when? Exactly. So If he was bullied in school, he came here from Syria and with the name he has, the very Muslim sounding name that he has, I could imagine he probably was bullied. And anyone that's ever been bullied, that's not a good feeling, obviously. And I can tell you from my own experiences in high school, that thing can leave some serious scars. Clearly, though, based on what I read again, none of this seems to be the case. Now, scars as in, this is why he went and shot up 10 folks at a grocery store. What I come to is the gun control debate. I think at this point, sadly, we've had enough mass shootings to where it's time to start asking ourselves, well, what do the gun control folks actually want? Now, you and I talked about this. I said, listen, easy solve, handguns, shotguns. Sadly, apparently this gentleman that's what I was about to say. The sad thing is, again, we're going by what we know from the media. This guy had a handgun. So I don't. All right. So step one, I said handguns and shotguns, clear because I'm like, you can't murder mass amounts of people with handguns and shotguns. I stand thoroughly corrected in the worst possible way.
I hate to say I told you so, but told you so.
No, you right. You right. Okay, so this just a quick, this is not the larger conversation I want to have, but just real quick, because my handguns and shotguns only rule. You don't, I mean, what do you need an assault rifle for? What do you need an AK-47 for? Like, it's like, what do you need an AK-47 for?
To protect yourself from the government and to go hunting for some deer and bears.
You don't hunt a deer with an AK-47.
Hey.
Jeez, you want to make it any more obvious you from the city?
I'm just saying.
And that's the other thing. And again, commenters, listeners, please send me information if you can. My thing about that is, because I keep hearing that, well, the government. Listen, if the U.S. government decided to say, hey, we're becoming a dictatorship tomorrow, the U.S. government has all the plans, access to all the satellites, all the cell phone towers, all the urban infantry they need. You really think you and your little arsenal is going to be able to stop a coordinated military attack? It's just you, mind you, right? Or in certain places, you and your 20-man militia. Now, the advantage would be if you are in the woods, if you know the terrain, obviously. But you really think you and your little arsenal at home, your few little guns, gonna stop a coordinated military attack that you won't even know is coming?
That's not the point. The point is, I got
what's the point?
Defend myself, and I got my brothers with me. So just in case they do, if the shit do hit the fan, I'm straight. You know what I'm saying? I'm straight.
And your little arsenal versus your little arsenal versus a tank.
Power to be.
Right. That sounds cute. Your little arsenal versus a tank is gonna do what? You have armor piercing, doubt it. Your little arsenal versus coordinated attacks from, Army Rangers. You're gonna do what? This is where this starts falling apart, because I hear the argument all the time. Well, if the government really want the roll-in tanks, they're gonna shut down cell phone towers, shut off the power. You're gonna be in pitch blackness. If you do not have night vision goggles, you already asked out right there.
You might have right that there. Already. Like I said, there are militias out there that train and prepare for this. And some of them might be ex-military, so they might actually know what they're doing.
But they're typically the guy. There's a niche for that. Most of the militia, they employ ex-military guys to teach the military tactics. You just don't have the weaponry.
Not for a tank, but who has a weapon for a tank unless you got RPG?
Exactly.
But
exactly.
It's not the point. The point is the right to bear arms. The right to bear arms. And to protect myself. So even if you come up with a tank, I'm still letting loose. And then if I die, I die. At least I die shooting. So I didn't let them take me without a fight. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm going to go out, I'm going to go out on my own terms. You heard me. Yeah.
Some of y'all. All right. I gotta go internet right now. Y'all sound goofy as hell. Come on. Yeah, I'm gonna go out shooting at a tank and doing nothing. Like, stop. Stop.
I'll make
Stop.
some homemade grenades. How about that? Yeah,
It's a tank.
yeah,
It's or urban assault vehicles or SWAT. You don't have a chance.
yeah.
You get sniped from 300 yards away where you get out the bed.
I don't
Like,
care about none of that,
stop.
dog. I don't care about none of that. We going out like how we going out. We ain't going out like some punks out here. We going out hardcore, John Wick style.
Um,
What you talking
by
about?
the way, you live in a blue gun control state, so good luck with that.
I'm not speaking
you,
for me. I don't.
you live in a blue gun control state, but
You must have got it twisted. I'm not speaking for me. I'm playing devil's advocate. I'm telling you.
okay. I'm
Going out,
just saying.
I'm going out on my own terms.
The notion of the I keep just in case the government snipes you from a, like, stop, it doesn't make sense. But that wasn't the crux of it, right? My thought process is this: it got me to thinking about what gun control advocates are asking for, and I'm getting a little concerned because, again, a couple articles I've read from major news outlets are saying that Biden is considering some kind of executive this or that. Now, to your point, even your devil's advocate point, um, there is a right to bear arms, and Biden is gonna, considering some kind of executive action. I don't know what that action is gonna look like. What are you gonna say? You can't buy guns for X amount of times. But here's where I was going ultimately. Thinking about the gun control debate, one, it's typically surrounded by how you can obtain legal guns. The twist in this case in particular with Colorado, again, and I keep saying it just so we're clear that I'm not taking one thing and running with it. I'm taking the information that's available right now and basing what I'm saying on that. It appears this gentleman, by all measures, would have been able to obtain guns legally. So that kind of shuts down your gun control debate, because the whole thing is you want to make sure that people don't have a history of mental illness, background check, this, that, which makes sense. You don't want to put a gun in the hand of a psycho, but he was never diagnosed. Apparently, he's based on what his family says, people close to him. He probably had mental issues. A couple Facebook posts where he talked about his high school bugging his phone, but that's not enough to say, well, you can't have a gun, because then it's going to be a very slippery slope. Like, if I say, kill a few of the pigs, get a little satisfaction. Kill a few more pigs, get more satisfaction. And kill all the pigs, get all the satisfaction. Shout out to Fred Hampton. Does that mean now I can't buy a gun? Because I'm quoting Fred Hampton now. Am I a threat? So that's a slippery slope. But then the other thing is, and this is where I want you to give me what your thoughts are. I've come to the conclusion that the gun control argument might be a little classist / racist in its nature, because what we are talking about here are legal guns, things you can go and buy yourself. We want to do checks, we want to do background checks. Makes sense. The vast majority, or a good chunk of, because I don't have the stats really available, a good chunk of the deaths that occur in your Baltimore's, your Orleans, your South Bronx, these hard neighborhoods that live in infamy because of their violence, ain't nobody going to Walmart to buy them guns. So are we de facto saying, hey, we don't really care what y'all do over there? Is when it comes to suburbia, when it comes to our neighborhoods, our nice little tidy picket fence neighborhoods, we want to make sure those wackos don't get guns. The illegal guns, all of those murders. Now, where are you on that one, man? You think I'm going off the deep end here? Or you think there might be some merit to the gun control argument having a tinge of classism / racism to it?
Yeah, there's a tinge of it. You make a good point, but yeah, I wasn't. They're trying to stop white caucus people from getting guns, but like you said, even if we do, I mean, what do you do? Do you do a hardcore psychological testing on somebody, and if they fail, they can't buy anything, or what? Because apparently this dude had problems, so he probably would have failed a psychological test, so he probably wouldn't have had the gun in the first place if we did it that way. But it wasn't an assault rifle; it was a modded handgun. So if we just go by what you said, you can still do a lot of, like I've been telling you forever, you can still do a lot of damage with shotguns and handguns, because it's not. There's different types of handguns, and you can mod it to make it basically a fully automatic. So yeah, but I don't. Yeah, America doesn't care about illegal guns. 'Cause that's how they make their money, and that's how we get the people in jail and all that extra stuff. So I mean, it's a method to the madness. But I mean, if America really didn't want illegal guns, we wouldn't have illegal guns for the most part. But yeah, like you said, if with the when the kiddies died, if nothing happened, nothing's going to change. Even with this being a Muslim brother, and they're going to go run with the narrative that oh he's a terrorist, oh Muslims are evil, yada yada yada. Nah, dog. And
I
this
don't.
is maybe it might be a blessing in disguise because it is a Muslim that maybe they do get quote unquote gun control under control, but or that picks up more steam and they actually do something. But like you said, if they didn't do anything for the kids, I don't see anything being done anytime soon. Thank you, NRA. Thank you, bastards. Good.
I mean, it's. I mean, I get it. It's the right to bear arms. I really got to do some. I got to go back and check my civics class and see how that plays out. Because it's not as cut and dry as most people would think. But it's the same way everybody got their panties in a bunch when Cap took a knee for the national anthem, not understanding the full national anthem is racist as shit. Like,
Used to
here's
be.
the national anthem.
It used to be, and they took that part out. But
Right. Like, ooh, we don't want to put that in there. We don't want to put that in there. But yeah, like, so it's a matter of understanding from a broader scope. It's not just right to bear arms. That means I
yeah,
got guns.
context.
Right, exactly. But it's like it just got me to thinking. And this is not me reaching trying to make something racial that's not. Because as you and I both said, I think this country by and large has a class problem disguised as a race problem.
Two things to
But
do.
it just, yeah, it's just like, does anyone realize gun control laws do nothing for illegal guns? And there are a ton of guns and weapon charges on the books. Like if you are caught with certain guns, there are certain states there's mandatory sentencing if that's illegal, if it's not registered. Need I remind everyone out there, Plaxico Burress, former wide receiver of the New York Giants,
Shot,
went to jail for what?
shooting themselves. Yeah, that's fine.
Exactly. That's how strict New York gun laws are. So the laws are on the books, especially when it comes to illegal guns. But I'm like, why are we not talking more? Like, if you really care about these violent cities, oh, Baltimore's a war zone. There's 300 murders a year. Detroit's a war zone. New Orleans is a war zone. All of these cities, Compton, LA, is so much gang violence. Chicago, that's been the new flashpoint lately. I remember once upon a time, not long ago, every Monday, well, it was 45 people shot in Chicago and 15 died. And like, why are we getting weekly updates on how many people got shot in Chicago? Why are we not aggressively trying to get gang task force and get guns off the streets? This is not to say it's not happening, but something isn't connecting here.
Because they don't care, and this is part of the plan. And also, yeah, what was I about to say? I forgot. I forgot. It'll come to
Yeah,
me. Go ahead.
you got your mandatory borderline Dark Knight reference in there, huh? I'm part of the plan. I got you. But um, we get at least one. We get at least one. We get at least one per show. There's always a mandatory Dark Knight reference in there somewhere. But it's just I'm curious, and anyone listening and or watching, if you have an idea of what gun control should look like, by all means comment. Because it is me not mocking. It is me legitimately saying, I don't know. I was wrong. And I admit my weapons ignorance. I live in Texas. Part of my to-do list this year is to get my carry license and become more familiar with firearms. Because in my head, I'm thinking, if all you had were handguns and shotguns, you can't do but so much damage. Like, think about it. If the dude in Vegas only had a handgun and a shotgun, I don't think you can necessarily kill 40 people. Now, Because of my ignorance, I stand corrected and I see the damage you can do with a modified handgun. Again, my weapon's ignorance, but I'm just thinking also from the standpoint, who needs an AK-47? Certainly not you goofballs think you're going to shoot the government, but who needs an AK-47s, AR-15s, and everything else? Who needs these? What do you need them for outside of having them in your house to say you have them? But yeah, I don't know what quote unquote gun control looks like. Anyone who knows what they expect gun control to look like, please, please, please comment, email. You know what to do. Moving on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Moving on. So I gotta thank my good buddy Dorothy on this one. She sent me one of the most interesting articles I've seen in a long, long time. It's dated. It's actually from 2017. So I don't know if he's still actually doing this. But you and I have always said, I would love to have a sit down with a hardcore MAGA Klan racist. And the reason I love to do that is because I firmly believe most of these folks have never been challenged. They live in a bubble that pretty much just reinforces what they already believe. So everyone around you is racist. You naturally believe that A, blacks are inferior, and B, you're naturally superior because you're white, and no one challenges you on it. Okay. I've always said if we just sat down and had a conversation factually, I can take apart anything you think you believe. Racism is one thing, white supremacy, white superiority is another. They are like co-conspirators. They are, co-defendants, but I think they're kind of nuanced into two separate things. So I've always said, let's talk about it. If you think you're better than me because you're white, tell me why, because I'm going to factually dismantle that. Show me historically the white people that built pyramids. All your Greek scholars, your Socrates, your Plato's, where'd they go study? So we're just going to go trade facts, right? And you can't really argue it because most of these facts have been discovered by white scientists. So you argue with your own people? No. But we found an article about article was sent to me about a guy who's kind of sort of done just that. There's a brother by the name of Daryl Davis. Look it up. And it's an article from NPR in their archives from 2017 in NPR. Daryl Davis has actually taken 200 Klan hoods. What? Yeah, he's actually taken 200 Klan hoods. And how he's done that is doing just what we said. He's had conversations with Klansmen. It was funny because he's a blues musician, plays guitar, and he was at a bar. How the story goes, he was at a bar, played a set. White guy comes up to him, I love the set, so on and so forth. He's like, I ain't never seen no black man play like Jerry Lee Lewis before. And anyone is like, what? So he's like, and where do you think Jerry Lee Lewis got it from? And white dude literally had no idea of Little Richard and everybody else. He just knew Jerry Lee Lewis. So Daryl breaks down to him, and the brother's like, white dude was like, hey, I ain't never had a conversation or a drink with a black man before. Found out he was Klan, and that was that. So he's just, been reaching out, studying Klan ideology, reaching out to different Klansmen, and having a conversation and intelligently dispelling their ideology. And it's like a light bulb goes off. It's like, you know what? I believe in some bullshit. Let me take this hood off. So salute to Daryl on that one. When I sent you this article when you read it, what you think, man?
Like, that's exactly how the conversation would go if he was on here. So I'm happy. Like you've always said, and we've always said, like, if you challenge their beliefs, they have no basis to stand on. And he had one conversation in the car. It was like black people have the violent gene or whatever. Or prone to violence. It's like, I never carjacked or robbed anybody in my life. He's like, oh, yours is dormant. It hasn't came out yet.
Right, it ain't came out yet.
And you hit him with the, well, out of all these mass shootings, name one that was black. Out of all serial killers, name a black serial killer. He said,
I ain't killed nobody yet. Don't worry, it'll come out later.
Glitch in the system. Glitch in the system. But yeah, it's like, I'm glad this brother's doing it. And I'm even more glad that they drop their robes and hopefully educating themselves more and not believing the BS lie they're being fed to since they were born. So, and hopefully they'll pass it on to their kids like, wow, y'all not half bad. Wow, everything I believed in was not true. So, yeah, I'm glad he
I,
did what we did before we even said it. So,
true indeed.
so hey, props to him. Props to the ex racists. I guess
Yeah,
there's redemption for everybody. No one is too far gone, especially if they get challenged and have nothing to defend themselves with. So yeah, I'm glad.
yeah. Because it's like I said, it it sits on a foundation of nothing. And when you surround yourself with just, and that goes for anything, it's just racism is so corrosive. But that goes for anything. Like, fitness is my passion. And the closer I get to bodybuilding and bodybuilders, the less attractive sometimes it becomes because I've found certain people just live and exist in a certain bubble. While there is nothing wrong with that per se, is when you get to certain levels of extremism, is problematic. When your whole day is just based on macros and reps, and I'm 12 weeks out, and you can't do anything except think about being on stage. Like that can be dangerous when everyone around you is just this one thing and you have no outside perspective. That can be dangerous. And there's not much more corrosive historically than racism.
Too much of anything can be a bad thing. So yeah, extreme is good to be even kill people and broaden your perspective every day because you might learn something new that might help you in the long run.
True. And I'm just like, I don't know. Too much steak. I don't know if such thing exists. I eat steak every day. Steak is awesome. But okay, I get you. I get you. I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you. But yeah, shout out to brother again. Daryl Davis. I'm sorry, Daryl Davis. Articles on NPR. Check it out. It's a good, quick read, but it's like, wow. People are not born evil. People are most certainly not born racist. Oh, by the way, they're also not born blue. So there's no fucking such thing as blue lives. Sorry, my bad. My bad. Sorry.
You just had to throw
Anywho,
that in there. I was waiting for it.
I, I, just
Couldn't
a
help
little, just a little dart. It's not a big dart, just a little dart. I just do a little dart. Don't mind me. It's just a little dart. It's a little pinch, just a little pinch. But you see where I'm going though. You are not born a racist. You were taught that. You are not born hateful. You were taught that. So it's important, like, and like you just mentioned, no one's beyond redemption. If your mind is open a little bit, if you are just not even open, if you are a logical thinker, if you can think logically, that's why I said, you know what? The side effects aside, if you can excuse it, you gotta almost admire the commitment it takes to be racist, because it takes a massive amount of energy to completely ignore facts. Like, you know how much energy it takes to be that dumb on purpose? Like, come on, bro. But again, props to Joe Davis. Check the article on NPR. Shifting gears, we are now going to dive into our great debater section. And I am curious where you are because we started this a little while ago. And yeah, so, and keeping in line with things that are going on, Derrick Jaxn, kind of well known relationship expert guru, the king of all simps, as some dudes want to say, it has just been revealed that he was caught. He had cheated, and they did a whole video responding to it. Him, his wife, and himself. And it's a matter of basically what they said was this had already happened. It just got brought to the surface. They already dealt with it and went past it. Kind of like August asked Lena and the entanglement. But I digress. For whatever reason, it just came to the light now. And now everybody's like, oh, F you, Derrick, you're trash. You a hypocrite. You ain't living what you preaching about. Blah, 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 blah. My question, my question is, but does it make the message untrue? A lot of what Derrick spoke about was loving your lady, was uplifting your lady, was honoring your queen. knowing as a man when you've won, when you, the last video I saw is, knowing when you've won, when you've got the woman that's your lady, recognizing that, not doing dumb shit. Does it make that message less true?
No, you want me to go?
Yeah, man. Let's go. Let's go. Does it make the message less true? Whether he lived it or not, does it make the message less true?
What was it? The old saying, "Do as I say, not as I do." Really? That's basically what he's doing. Really? That's what we're going with. Like, nah, man, that's trash. He trash. You know, does it make the message less true? No, it does not. Should you treat your woman with respect and all that? I don't need another man to tell me how to treat a woman. I'm sorry. That's just me. So technically, I don't care. I wouldn't be seeking out advice from him anyway. And I never have. I didn't even know who he was until you mentioned to me or until I seen him trending on Twitter. So I was like, I don't care. I don't need somebody else to tell me how to treat somebody, or especially a woman. But that's but they have a right to be mad and call him a hypocrite because he is. Is that not facts? Is that not facts? You're not preaching what you practice. Like I said, do as I say, not as I do. That's that BS parents tell you. But yeah, like nah, man, he trash for that. He is trash. I mean, like I said, I agree with you that the message is not. The message should still stay. But like I said, for me personally, I don't need that message because I already live by it. But because I was raised the right way and I have my own way of treating people, I believe in treating people with respect no matter what. Well, unless they don't treat you back with respect, then that's a whole other issue. But yeah, nah, he's trash for this. He's a hypocrite. He's trash. All above.
So,
He's basically a sim too. He might as well be a sim because you what you doing stepping outside your marriage, man? What you doing? What you doing, bro?
but again, this had been happened. It just came to the surface. So according
That's
to him and his wife had already dealt with this, and he walking in his truth present day. Right now, he a good, faithful dude who learned from his
that we
mistakes.
know of, right?
Here we
You
go.
don't know that.
Here
What
we
they say,
go.
once a cheater, always a cheater.
His wife said it. So there's that. His wife said it. It ain't
Yeah,
just him saying it. His wife said it.
I'm pretty sure she thought he was low before, and then guess what happened? So I'm just saying. I'm not saying that he is cheating right now. I'm just saying you can't be completely sure. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
So this leads to a bigger thing. And I was thinking on this part, where do we separate message from messenger? Is there a point where someone's done something that you can't separate message from messenger, art from artist? Like, I thought about this. I do not, I have canceled R. Kelly long ago. There are people who I'm shocked, but that's just my own personal thing. There are people who say, F that, I'm still going to rock the R. Kelly. My unofficial rule in life is as long as kids and kittens ain't getting hurt, I really don't care but so much, right? Well, kids did get hurt. You're a pedophile. You're like one of the worst monsters there are, you know. And I can't in good conscience, being a parent, not even to a daughter, but being a parent, I can't listen to your art and because to me it's art. And I think the cool thing about being black is it always gets better. Here's what I mean. We saw Marvin Gaye and Stevie Wonder. Oh my God, we ain't never gonna get. And then we had Prince. We saw James Brown, Little Richard. Oh my God, that's the best. And then we have Michael. So the beauty of blackness here is we have so much amazing talent that if you never listen to R. Kelly again, I promise you it's going to be something just as dope later, right? So there's that piece. But for me, R. Kelly didn't have a message. It was art. And I can completely discount all of his art. For me personally, and I've told you about this, where I struggle is when artists do have a message. It has been brought to my attention that my favorite artist, John Lennon, was an abuser. And I am trying to reconcile, does it make Imagine and Instant Karma less potent? Does it take away from that message? Bigger one, and this is where I want you to jump in at.
Oh boy.
We talked about, our friends, air quotes, in the Catholic Church. You are literally dispensing the word of God, and you are as fatally flawed as you can be, does it make you question, like, this is the word of God? Do you question the word of God now because God's messenger is fatally flawed?
You can. Like you said off air, especially if you're the victim, I would. Or I'm the victim's family, I definitely would. Like why like if you're the pure, you're a preacher, you preach the word of God, you're God's son, all that, but you still touching and raping little boys. It's like, where's God then? He didn't protect those kids. But
That, I mean, the comeback, and I'm gonna put on my Christian hat right now. The comeback is, well, that's man, not God. Man is flawed. God is not.
I get no, I get that part. I'm just saying if I was in that situation and I was my son or something, like, yo, I question it too. You might have to. You're human. You question things, especially when terrible stuff happens. You like why? That's the first thing you want to know is why. So will that make you turn into an atheist? I don't know about all that, but will it make you question some things about the church and God and all that? Hell yeah.
Mm.
But you
Would
can
you
always go
still
to a
go?
church. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Would you still? We got to make it personal. So for you, it didn't happen to you, but say just hypothetically say you're a Catholic and you find out one of your homeboys got molested as a kid. Would you question your Catholicism now? Would you consider switching religion or dropping religion altogether?
Probably. I'm not Christian. I'm more towards something else, but probably. Maybe. I definitely question it. I'll definitely stop if I was going to that church. I'll stop going to that church. So if I do stay, I'll probably go to another church. But like, nah, like, it would definitely make me question a lot of things. Like, you supposed to be, like, God is supposed to help and protect us, especially from people who's preaching your word, but you didn't. So it was like,
Hmm.
I don't know. I would still question. I would be like, maybe this is not for me. Maybe this is just show how flawed this religion really is,
Yeah.
how
See,
controlling it really is.
yeah. See, it's an interesting thing when you have to start. Morality is slippery, man. There are certain things that are absolutely heinous. Child molestation being way, way up there. So to me, it's no question to ask. Like I can, knowing how my mind works. I've never been Catholic. I went to a Catholic high school for a little bit, but I've never been quote unquote Catholic. But knowing how my mind works, no, I don't. I'm pretty sure I'd abandon Catholicism like all the way together once that started coming out. And then, as they say in politics, sometimes it's not the crime, it's the cover up. It's not just that this happened. It's the fact that the Catholic Church took very, very great measures to cover this up. So there's that part. So like based on those things, now I'd be done being Catholic tomorrow. It'd be a wrap. But
Or
it's like it's a very interesting thing. It's like where do you separate? I guess it's your own moral judgment. Like for instance, on a lesser degree, because nothing's going to be reach the level of the Catholic Church, but on a lesser degree, I don't typically support Mayweather. He got way too many issues with putting his hands on women. Didn't I shed no tears when Ray Rice was banished from the NFL and could not get another job. I think he's being an advocate against domestic violence, which is great. But that's my personal touch point. You put your hands on women and you're not in a defend your life situation. I got a problem with that.
yeah,
You
but
know,
like you said earlier though. I mean, didn't he redeem himself since he is an advocate? So doesn't he deserve a second chance? Or is he too far gone because he did?
it's a tough call. That's it because it's one of those things where, and then just the viciousness of it all. I mean, again, the videotape sadly just shined a whole new light on it. Like it wasn't just no little tap and a little push. Like he hit her with a Tyson left hook and damn near knocked her, like did knock her unconscious.
Well,
Like it's
she got hit unconscious because she hit the wall. But yeah,
right. And I'm just like, I can't unsee that. And it's like the best you can do is be an advocate going forward. You see what I'm saying? The
you have
NFL
to.
took this. To
Oh,
me, it shows, I mean, agreed. To me, it shows remorse. Absolutely shows you want to redeem yourself. But me personally, if I was an NFL owner, nah, I'm good on that. I'm good on you being on my team. But that's a personal decision. That's because DV is personal to me. You know, my pops hit on my mom's. So it's like that's a touch point for me. You can't put your hands on women and your life not be in danger. Now look, bro, she got a butcher knife or something where she got the blick. All right, we're having a different conversation. You are literally in a fight for your life. But y'all just having words and all she got is hands, mouth, and feet, and you gonna hook off on her. And I get that whole, oh well, don't hit nobody who said to get hit back. Yeah, I get all that. But most things being relatively equal, and this is not an insult to women, on average, I'm a hell of a lot stronger than you are. So now I'm me hitting you is gonna be a hell of a lot different than you and me. So I'm like, nah, just
yeah, but
I can't,
DV,
I can't, I can't
well,
wrap my mind around it. I can't. So it's like for me, no, Ray Rice, you cannot play for my team. Sorry.
well, to be fair, that situation it was abusive on both sides. It just looked bad because Ray Rice retaliated, but it was abuse on both sides. DV is not a one-sided thing. DV
Never
can
said it
be.
was.
I know. I'm just saying. So we're all clear that we're all agreement that it's not just men doing this. It's DV is DV. Women need to keep their hands to themselves. Men need to keep their hands to themselves. Use your words. Everything can be solved with a conversation.
Agreed. No disagreement there. No disagreement there. But it's like, like I said, it's just something that it's contextualized. And it's like, look, we've been on a basketball court before. Who'd always have pressure with? The smallest, skinniest dude there. And I'm like, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about you little chihuahua dudes, but yeah, like what do you
No, dog. You, that's a whole other story. But all right, go ahead.
no, I was just saying, like it's like you must clearly have a death wish because you like 120 pounds, and this is not gonna go the way you think. You all this yippity yip yip yap, and that's what I'm saying. Recognition that look, we both mad, but me hitting you is not gonna be the same as you hitting me, fam. So it's like, nah, I'm not gonna do it. That's kind of like, and it is not to say it is that stark of a difference, but I'm like, look, in regular normal, I guess I won't say normal, but in most circumstances, we have a clear physical advantage. It's not to say women are weak, not at all. But I'm saying you hit me in the face, not hit you in the face. It's gonna be a whole different amount of damage. And to that end, I'm out. I'm not gonna sit and put my hands on somebody. I'm not gonna sit and put my hands on a woman that's got hands, feet, and mouth as weapons. Like, nah. No, but back to rerouting this back to where we started from. It's like, yeah, where do you separate your morality? I mean, where do you separate art from artists or who you do and don't support? And honestly, in the black community, it's a slippery slope because then you go to, well, it's a lot of rap artists that do a lot of heinous shit too. It's a lot of rap artists with nothing but truth. If we being real, nothing but white supremacy all in their lyrics. We support that though. So slippery slope. Where do we separate message from messenger? Where do you separate art from artist? And can you?
I think that depends on the person and your individual mindset and what you're willing to overlook. Like I said, I like John Lennon, but it's kind of hard for me to listen to him now. Ever since I found that out and I told you about it. Um, who else? I don't really care for Al Kelly. I ain't really listen to him like that.
Thank
Um,
God.
like I said, I only know like two, three songs of him, so I was like, I can.
Yeah, and it's like I said with Derrick Jaxn, like I guess I'm guessing his book sale is about to take a huge hit,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
but it's just like,
yeah.
is it another case of hero worship? Like, why do we want our quote unquote heroes to be quote unquote perfect? Nobody is perfect. We all screw up. Like, why is this? No, I ain't gonna lie.
But this is
If
loyalty. Like you didn't screw up by like doing something stupid by accident or pressing send on Twitter. You cheated on you. That's a whole decision. That's not a mistake. You made a whole choice.
so, if anybody can tell you what you need to do to how to love and honor your woman, it's the bum dude that didn't do it. He is living the fact that, all right, I was stupid. I didn't do this thing. you should definitely do this thing because I didn't do this thing and look where it's got.
Apparently, it didn't get them anywhere because she got over it and they're still together. So there's that. So
That's see,
yeah,
no. She left. She said, all right. So without delving too far deep in their one-on-one interview, she left. She was out. And she did not come back
but
until
she came.
Derrick got right.
She
She
came back.
came back because Derrick got right with the Lord. What? Really? Really? You're laughing. You're laughing. You're laughing at this. You're laughing at this. Really?
So
Really? All right. So I got see. Oh Lord, you're gonna make me look like a bad father out here, man. All right, let me break it down. Marriage is a holy pact between yourself, your spouse, and the Lord. All right. And when you have broken that, you have not just broken a promise to your spouse, you have now broken a promise to God. So it would make sense that we cannot figure this out until you get right with God. You can't get right with me until you get right with God. Until he got right with God, per what she said, she was out. That makes perfect sense.
He came back.
Because he got right with God.
So basically, you telling me what you're saying is I can get a free pass, like one freebie, if I get right with God. Let's go. You hear that, man? You get one free pass, baby.
You ain't
That's what you just said. You said
no, that's not
right
what I said.
So all is forgiven. I'm coming home, honey. Let's go.
No, you gotta do the work. It ain't just like I went, yo, check this out, babe. I went and said a prayer. I'm good. You come home. That's not how that went, yo. That's legit. They're Christians.
Basically, did that. You did that and a whole lot of apologizing. That's basically what you did. And she came back. I'm not saying she's a bad person for coming back because people forgive things. And that's the Christian thing to do, is to forgive, no matter
it's
what.
It's the human thing to do.
It's the Christian thing to do, like I said. So,
yeah. There we go. This guy.
I'm sorry. Some things are unforgivable. You cheat on me, it's a wrap. I don't care how godly you get. Praise Allah. I don't care. You can get on both knees and pray to Allah. I don't care. You cheat on me, it's over. It's over, Prime. It's over. So, yeah, this he's still trash. I'm sorry. I know
so we throwing people away from it. Is Jada trash? Is Jada trash because of what she did with August Ass Lena?
Kinda, yeah.
I keep, by the way, yes, I'm intentionally calling him August Ass Lena. Absolutely.
That sounds kind of weird though, saying that.
Nah, because you asked, because we didn't need to know none of that. That could have stayed right where it was. But all of a sudden, you got to spit it out. So yeah, August Ass Lena. You had to go spit it out for no reason at all. Then we got a red table talk and entanglements, and Will Smith sitting there looking like somebody punched him in the stomach. like we didn't need to know none of that. It had already been discussed, already been talked about, already moved on. Here you go, August Ass Lena. Same thing here, ironically. Derrick and his wife already talked it out, already worked it out, already moved on. He was already back in the car making videos telling you how to love your lady. And then this comes out a few days ago. Like,
hey, you know what they say, never meet your heroes because you'll be disappointed.
But, I mean, like I said, take it for what you will. I thought Derrick gave out some great advice because then a lot of it is also aimed at women on trying to recognize the fuck boys. Try to recognize, like, sometimes women give too many chances or they're too accepting of BS. And what he was trying to do in a lot of this is put women on game and say, yo, this dude is lame. If this dude is doing A, B, and C, that's bullshit. Dude is lame. Now, apparently he himself might have been with the shits a little bit.
It's lame.
Stop, yo.
So,
but yeah. He used to be lame. He's not lame today.
That we know of.
His wife said he's not a lame.
Yes, take it from somebody who literally said, found God. So now that you found God, he's all good. He's pure now. Like he'll never cheat again.
Yeah, that's exactly it. You honor your vows. That's exactly it.
You didn't honor him the first time. So what makes you think I'm gonna honor him now?
Because if she thought, I'm just thinking, as a good Christian woman, no, it's not. Because again, I do not identify specifically as Christian, but I grew up Christian. I understand it.
I don't either.
As a good Christian woman, if she thought this dude was really for the streets and not for God, she'd have been out. That's no BS. I'm not being facetious. I'm joking. I'm being serious right now. If she thought dude was for the streets, if he didn't get right with God, she'd have been out.
We think we don't know because she came back.
But again, you keep just glossing over that. It wasn't just a conversation like, yo, I went to church and I prayed 3 times. We good. I'm sure it didn't go like that. I'm sure it
not
didn't go
saying
like
he
that.
didn't work for it, but he already broke the vow. He broke the contract because marriage is a contract. Let's keep it real.
Mhm.
So he voided the contract. You basically said, okay, fine, God, do this, yada, yada, apologize, and we'll make a new contract. You just re-signed him. Why did you re-sign him?
Yeah.
You could have been a free agent and signed somebody else, but you re-signed your bum ass husband. Okay, whatever.
Why are we just taking shots at Derrick, yo? Damn,
Good,
so
man.
like, damn, babe, really?
I don't like cheaters, man. Personal experience. I don't like cheaters, but that's not a mistake. That's a choice. Especially if you
Agreed.
sign a contract. That's personal experience. I hate it.
I understand. I
So
totally understand. I'm
so
just
yeah,
like,
I'm not giving any passes. I'm sorry.
okay. So, I mean, this is like, man from message from messenger. I'm like, there's still a lot of jewels in a Derrick Jaxn book. Now, I mean,
Yeah.
people like, I wouldn't dare buy his book. Your book is trash. And they're like, whoa. He putting women on game on how to recognize trash ass dudes. He giving dudes some advice on how to, stop being in these streets. And if you got a good thing at home, cherish and worship that. That's a legit message.
Yeah, it is.
Okay then.
I'm not saying his message is wrong. I'm just saying like I'm attacking the person. I'm not attacking the message. The message is still, but like I said earlier, I don't need a book to tell me how to treat a person, especially a woman. If you do, that's kind of sad.
No, a lot of
Kind of
folks.
sad. Who
Nah,
raised you?
because a lot of sadly, in a lot of cases, either no dudes or dudes that you understand something. Your age is a little different, but my age, especially, our fathers came from the 60s and 70s when it was, all about machismo and masculinity, and you got in pimp culture and women wasn't this and that. So it's been a shift. My generation, that's different. You guys are gonna raise your kids a hell of a lot different than we were raised. But so it's not about meeting the book per se. What you gotta understand, a lot of these dudes out here is operating from a different set of principles. So yeah, some folks might, some dudes might need a book to say, yo, women are good for more than cooking and cleaning and having babies. So some folks won't need a book. And that's, to me, it's like it's a different kind of therapy. Like, yo, it's a different world we live in. Going to therapy ain't no bad thing. Do that. If this is your therapy, do that. But okay, message from messenger. And we gonna stop trashing Derrick and his wife and him getting right with God and getting back to things. I'm gonna really need you to stop, yo. Like, I get it. You're not Christian, so you don't, you may or may not quite understand
Hey,
it,
I
but it
believe in
makes
God too.
perfect sense.
Let's not get it
So
twisted.
then it,
I
so then
believe.
it makes perfect sense that
I'm just
as a
saying, like,
Christian woman, you don't want to throw your marriage away. As a Christian woman, you walk away when this thing has happened, and I'm sure you deliberate and evaluate. And like, look, in order for this to work, I got to see something different in you. I got to see the God in you. And Derrick went and found a God in himself. Apparently, I mean, that's what I'm figuring. Because again, if she didn't think so, she'd have been out. Just my thoughts.
hey, to each his own, baby. To each his own.
All right. So last thing is, I'm excited. Falcon and Winter Soldier dropped. I caught the first episode. I've not watched any of WandaVision. That just really feels like comic nerd stuff. I just want something I can sit and watch and enjoy. And this is more in line with just sit, plug and play, baby, plug and play. I was waiting for this to come out. Can't wait for Black Widow to come out. Shout out to ScarJo. But I was waiting for this to come out. First episode. By the way, we do spoilers around here. If you don't like spoilers, tune out. But first episode, I was thoroughly impressed. I like the way it's going. I was concerned because I didn't watch The Mandalorian either. And I'm just like, I'm used to Marvel's grit. I'm used to Daredevil, Punisher, Luke Cage. I'm used to that. So I was kind of concerned how this was going to go. But it's in line. I was wondering if it was going to be cheesy as, what is it, that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. No, it's good. This is really, really good. It's Falcon and Soldier. The very end of it, we get this bootleg, great value version of Captain America. Like, what the hell? But I like where it's going so far. What are your initial thoughts, sir?
Yeah, I like how it's going. I watched WandaVision and The Mandalorian, two great shows. You missing out on WandaVision, dog. You really are, especially towards the last couple episodes. And it's gonna lead up to Doctor Strange. So you crazy.
I ain't got time for that comic nerd stuff, man.
It's not common nerd stuff. It's a great freaking show. You are tripping. Most people like it, if not all. Okay. But Winter Soldier is more straight. It's more straightforward. There's not a lot of nuance to it. It's just basically here's the Falcon, here's Bucky, fight. Like Mortal Kombat, fight. It's real simple. But yeah, I'm excited to see what the rest of the season beholds, and hopefully soon that the Falcon gets the shield back from that bootleg Captain America. And the memes were funny as hell. I know you haven't.
You gotta send me some. I've not seen it yet. Like bootleg ass Captain America.
The memes are funny as hell. So yeah, but great. It's a good start. Marvel is doing these things with the shows, but yeah.
I mean, I really hope they bring back at some point. I really hope they bring back John Berthold's Punisher. Charlie, I forgot his name. I apologize, but the guy who plays Daredevil, I think he's rumored to be in Spider-Man 3. So that's gonna be dope. Charlie Cox, that's gonna be dope because those are two of my. It was Punisher, Daredevil, Luke Cage, like all three of them top notch for me.
Yep.
You know, I still haven't finished watching. I forgot her name. Jessica Jones. Still haven't finished watching Jessica Jones the last season, and I just have not watched. I got through a half episode of Iron Fist and just let that one go. I got through a half episode of Iron Fist, let that one go.
I got 2 minutes and let it go.
I mean, you wouldn't even give it longer than that.
Nope, that shit was so trash, man. I was like,
but yeah, I like the way this is going. I'm curious to see who this great value. And I'm like, then we talk about it. Ain't that just like the government? Because remember, initially early on, Sam getting the shield back, right? And dude was like, you know what, Sam, you did the right thing. You did the right thing. Thanks. And turn around and get a shield to some bootleg ass, great value ass Captain America. Like, I'm just sitting at home, like, ain't that a what?
That's exactly his face he made too when he saw it.
Right. You did what? It's like the meme. Oh no, baby, what is you doing? Like, so I'm like, and it was just oozing. Like, good job to Marvel, because that shit was just oozing America. We need a new symbol. We need someone that embodies America. I'm just like, why don't you just put on a MAGA hat while you at it, yeah? Like, just America. Like, and then this bootleg ass Captain America shows up. I'm like, so who they thought out is gonna be interesting to see. I really can't wait to see the Winter Soldier cut loose because he'd be kicking serious ass. And he's probably the only one not named T'Challa that could go head up with Captain America hand to hand. So, but within the Marvel universe as we know it, I'm sure comic nerds, calm down. You're about to lose your shit. Calm down.
I'm talking about the Marvel universe as we know. I know there's Iron Fist and this, that. I got, you know, hand to hand, Wolverine would probably tear Captain America a new one, maybe. But that would be an interesting fight. No claws, just hand to hand. All right, real quick, who you got? Wolverine, Captain America, hand to hand, no claws.
There's no claws. It's Captain America.
Remember, he still got an adamantium skeleton now.
I mean, well, his healing factor is going to win. Well,
Yeah, that's. I even, you know what? I'm taking Wolverine. I'll even give Cap the shield. Even with the shield, I still got Wolverine.
I mean, hand to hand, Captain America is a better fighter, but Wolverine has powers that helps him.
But remember, Wolverine is studied under some of the best martial artists. Wolverine ain't no joke. He just ain't no brawler.
But he tends to do that more often than not.
Well, usually when you can slice people open, that kind of makes sense. But
yeah, so he's not using his claws. So his advantage is healing factor and him having basically metal bones. So even if he tags Captain America, it's going to be like getting hit with an iron.
And yeah, I'm still mad. And I know we got a little bit topic here, but I've never said this on the show. I still need some okay, so comic nerds, here's how you can redeem yourself for me. Calm down. Comic nerds, because this still feels fake. That scene in Avengers Endgame, that just doesn't feel real still. How is it that Thanos, with no gauntlet, brings the pain to Captain America, Iron Man, and Thor with Stormbreaker and Mjolnir? That just does not seem realistic. Like that. If you had the gauntlet, we're having a different conversation. But just hand to hand, he beats the hell out of all three of them. Stormbreaker and Mjolnir, mind you, Thor killed Thanos with just Stormbreaker at the end of Infinity War. Well, should have went for the head, but still. So yeah, that's please feel free to break down the schematics of that one. How that's even possible. I don't think it's possible. Yeah, Thanos is dope, but you got Iron Man, Cap, Thor with both weapons. But all right, run it back, recap. All right, so top of the top, please, anyone out there, let me know what you think gun control is. Let us know if you think it's a reach to think gun control has a tinge of classism to it. Shout out to Dale Davis. Keep taking them hoods. If you are out there, keep doing that work, making the world a better place, taking away one hooded racist at a time. Derrick Jaxn, message from Messenger in general. I guess it's a case by case basis. I'm personally not canceling Derrick Jaxn. I don't think his message is false. He just couldn't live his message. But we have another August ass Lena case here, where something that's already been sorted out between a couple now gets brought to the light for whatever reason. And then Winter Soldier, Falcon Winter Soldier, love it so far. Love the first one so far. Can't wait to see where next week's goes. We didn't really review it outside of saying it's good. Didn't even a whole lot of spoilers outside of the great value Captain America. All right. Your recap, sir.
Yeah, tragedy. And hopefully this is not going back to normal, but it seems like everything's going back to how it used to be before the COVID lockdown. So I guess it's showing itself that we are going back to being normal soon, sadly. Shout out to the brother that's taking down one racist at a time. Props to you, brother. And props to them too, because they deserve some credit too for being open-minded. So props to them as well. Derrick Jaxn, you're trash, bro. Trash. Absolute trash. You deserve whatever backlash you get because you're trash. Practice what you preach. Don't be like one of those people and those lazy parents who say, do as I say, not as I do. That's not right, man. Practice what you preach. Hopefully you're doing it now. You made a bad choice. Hopefully you are now, but who knows? I'm not in that relationship and I don't care. So props to her for forgiving him and the love of God. Because we love God out here. And Falcon and Winter Soldier, yep. Great show. WandaVision, great show. I recommend you watch both. So, Team Marvel and DC. Well, real quick, that Justice League Snyder's cut, boy, that was fire, boy. DC's back on the map, baby. Oh yeah, that's all I got.
All right. That wraps it up this week. Next week, we'll also preview, well, not preview, but review rather, the next episode of Falcon Winter Soldier. This is the thing now. And I don't know. In a couple weeks, we get treated to the Mortal Kombat movie. If you have not seen a trailer, treat yourself. Even if you didn't grow up a fan and playing the game, I think you can enjoy this one because they did it right. They made it R. There will be fatalities. There will be blood. Yes. But until next time, Kane and Ross sign off from Yes to the Podcast. Same bat time, same bat channel next week. Peace.
Yeah.